It's true they say the opening sequence of a podcast is actually pretty hard to do. You wouldn't think it, but it is. Hello, welcome. My name is Silja. This is Hanging On by a Thread podcast. It's basically just me chatting about what I've been doing through the week. Crafty. I record on Fridays, publish on Saturdays, and if you want to follow me on Instagram or Ravelry, my handle there is Silmoa. And anything that I mention, all the patterns I've been working on, things I mentioned, the yarns I talk about, I will put links to all that good stuff in the description box below, and also on my blog, which is byathreadblog.com. Did I forget anything this time? I'm sure I did. Yeah. Okay. Enough of that. Let's say I did that introduction perfectly. And let's try to do this. It's a very grey and... well, it's a shifty day. It's a shifty day. Norway is a country that has a lot of shifty weather. Basically all the weather in one day. Right now it's just grey and raining and blustery. 10 minutes ago, before I started recording, it was snowing, and before that the sun was out. So yeah, we're still in that phase between spring and winter, where the weather just doesn't really know what it is yet. So okay. Feel free to cut this out. I'm once again hidden down in my partner's studio. The baby is sleeping in the wagon, and I'm distracted right now because I hear the 5-year-old and my partner coming back in from... They ventured out. They were trying to, go to the playground and that decision was made when it was sunny outside. By the time all the layers were put on and the clothes on, it was already sleet sideways. But by then it's like, oh, the clothes are on already, so we're going out. Yes sir, yes. Didn't last very long though. But I have been promised some peace and quiet for recording, and I hope that will happen. I can hear them rummaging around the house now. Okay, so that's... Yeah, I was thinking, I'm doing this podcast to share with anybody who's interested, all my fibery hobbies and things, and I would like it to be an enjoyable thing to have on your screen when you're crafting yourself, and maybe need a break from your everyday life, and to have a bit of alone time and a cup of your preferred hot beverage or spiked beverage, for all I know. Yeah, but at the same time I want to warn you that this is not... I am not that kind of person that manages to be all like cozy and fuzzy all the time. So if you're looking for that, maybe not the podcast for you. I'll try to stay on topic and keep my negativity out of it, but sometimes it's hard, and sometimes you just want to say, this shit is hard, life is hard, and anybody who tries to gloss that over, they're lying. And these are hard times we're going through. And at least for me, the hobby, the thing I do for pleasure, is helping me through this. So obviously the crafts I do, they are also tightly, they're kind of joined to the hard things in my life. So I pick them up when I need an escape. And yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but that was a bit incoherent, and it did sound a lot better in my head before sitting down to record. I had more or less an idea of what I wanted to say there, but it doesn't seem to be happening. Anyways, I just want to say that I'm not the kind of person that goes like, just stay positive and everything will go be okay. It's just, I'm here to acknowledge that sometimes life is hard and it's shit, and sometimes you don't need people telling you to buck up and keep at it and it'll be alright, because sometimes it isn't, and it is not gonna be, and you just need a friend to say, you know what, that sucks big time, and I'm here, and let's just sit and knit together and have a cup of coffee and just be still together, which is what I like. Anyways, okay. The rest of this podcast will be a bit more cheerful, I think. Okay. So I've not done many things this week. I've kept two main projects, which I talked about both of them last time. One is the Kuutar pullover, and the other is the granny cardigan. Cardigan? Granny square pullover. Okay, yeah, but today I'm wearing something very old. This is one of the first things I knitted, and if you're curious about it, I'll just mention briefly, because I don't remember much about the pattern or anything. It is the Netherton cardigan. Don't know the designer. Let me check my notes, because my written podcast notes are forgotten upstairs, and I'm not gonna go upstairs to get them. So let's go to Ravelry. I have it up. So Netherton cardigan by Lydia Gluck. It was a pattern from Pom Pom Quarterly. So it's actually from the first issue of Pom Pom. I made this cardigan in 2014, I think, when I first started subscribing to Pom Pom, and I bought some back issues. So this is the original pattern. I know they did an anniversary issue where they had redone this pattern slightly. I didn't look too close on that because I had already made it. I have done this. This is in a lovely yarn. It is I have no idea how to say this word. Shilasdair? I don't know, but Shilasdair Luxury DK. And I don't have any left of it. I managed to make this cardigan, a neck warmer, and some gloves out of the yarn I bought. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is 20% cashmere, 40% angora, which now I don't know if it's the angora rabbit or the goat. I think it's the rabbit. And 40% lamb's wool. And this is a cardigan I have used quite a lot, actually, because it's just above elbow, it's open, it's easy to put on, it's cropped length. It has this nice little band at the bottom. So basically that's a twisted rib ribbing. Has this little triangular shape above it and a moss stitch border. It doesn't have any buttons, so it's just the same on each side, and it's meant to be either with buttons at the bottom and like cinching in the waist, or like with a pin or something. Up here I was wearing it with a pin up top, but mostly it's just hanging open. What surprised me about this yarn though is that there's absolutely no pilling on this, which is great. I mean, I am a pillar. Every cardigan that I have that has some sort of like loosely, there's no pilling on this, and this is a cardigan I've worn a lot. I mean, it's 2014. Yeah, it's 7 years old now. And I think I washed it once. Airing it out, of course, but I have worn it a lot and it's in great condition. So this yarn, I was trying to get a hold of it again a couple of months back, maybe half a year ago, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So this mix of fibers, and also I was looking for like yarns with camel fibers in it. You remember that? A few years ago it used to be camel in everything, and now it's completely gone. There's a lot of yak, so yak has kind of taken over for some of the camel fibers. I don't know why they didn't stay in stock, but things are going in circles, I guess. But fashions, the trends, you know, back in early 2010s, there was Angora was the big thing. No, Angora, I'm saying alpaca. So that's that. I don't really have much more to say about it, except it's I mean, it was one of the first knits I did. Well, not first knits, but when I picked knitting back up again, it's one of the bigger garments I started doing. So after recording last week's episode, what I was really feeling was my Kuutar. I can speak about the most recent whip first, the basket of whips. So progress on this yoke. I am nearly done. Well, I think I'm at row 40 or something of a 60 row lace yoke. So let's see if I can make justice to this lace by showing it here. So this is the progress on my Kuutar yoke. So I think if I were to put it on, I'm just passing my shoulders. So I'm probably about here on the yoke, and I have to do a little bit more. Basically this leafy structure here, I am to do another kind of little leaf down there, and it's done. So this is turning out very nicely, I think. I love this color. Oh, happens to be kind of the color I'm wearing on my shirt here, but I think this will be pretty nice. Yeah. I think so. So that has been the bulk of my week actually. A couple of days work on this, which is, you know, I have to refer to the chart on each new row to see what the next is going to be. Basically kind of to confirm it, because I'm starting to get the logic of this particular lace pattern now. You see that, you know, where you go in and out. There's kind of some shales. I'm holding this upside down now. So there are kind of some, oh, let's try to hold it the right way, talk about this. So there's like some, looks like some shales here, and it branches out into this leafy structure after a, I don't know what that's called, but you wrap it. You wrap 5 stitches, make this kind of knot, so it branches out again. This leaf here, and now it's growing into becoming another leaf structure down here. The little markers are serving me well. There have been plenty of times where I have either forgotten to wrap a stitch, or that tends to be what I do. It's not, I don't forget to decrease stitches, but I forget to wrap. Or maybe the wrap slides off at some point and I forget to knit it. So when I come back I can see like, oh, there's one stitch too little on this. So now, and that's the inside. I'm showing the inside, but inside's pretty interesting too. You can see where the purl stitch, there's 2 purl stitches per repeat that kind of stays and maintains the structure of the whole thing. So they stay the whole way down. You see the purl stitch goes all the way down. Cool. So happy with that. Until I can like finish with the lace and split for arms, there's not really much to talk about, but this is going to be very relaxing knitting once the yoke is done. I did put it aside now, just so that I could try to make a dent in my Granny Square pullover, which I had started, I was about halfway on the first sleeve last week. That sleeve I undid. Yeah, so I had started with, I had like the, oh, that's Kuutar. But before I start talking about the other, about the Granny Square pullover, I'm going to put away this lovely squishy Kuutar pullover, lace yoke by Sari Nordlund, and this is knit in the colorway Kuutar by Millas Mikrofargeri. This is, ooh, and it is her Superwash Merino DK Kuutar. Yeah, she dies to order everything. So if you're like, oh my god, that color's lovely, but you want it on some other base, maybe non-superwash, then you can get that. It's not in stock, doesn't matter, she colors it for you. Which I think is great. You'll always get the color that you want out of her assortment. That was cold coffee. Okay. So, yeah, I did last week onto the Granny Square pullover. Last week I was about this much into the first sleeve, and this is now the second sleeve. But the first I did undo the whole thing and I redid it with decreases every 6 rows because I had begun doing decreases every 4 rows, which was giving me a slope that was way too deep, and it just looked funny. Now I did decrease every 6 rows until I was happy with the width around the elbow area, and so one sleeve done, the slope is a bit more agreeable, I think, and I ended it with a twisted rib, 1x1 twisted stitch rib. I have picked up for the second sleeve and came to about the elbow. I did make a stab at it too, like, oh, I was knitting last night and thinking maybe I could finish the sleeve for tomorrow's podcast and I can wear it. No, I just put it aside and decided that was not gonna happen. Yeah, that was just too stressful. And there's a funny thing about stockinette in the round can be very relaxing, but when you're very, very tired, but you do need to stay present and awake because, you know, you have kids to watch over, knitting stockinette in a round was just like too sleep inducing. So I found myself knitting on this and just going, my eyes crossing, and just now had to put it away. And yes, stockinette is nice and meditative and you can do it without looking, but there's a danger of falling asleep and getting all cross-eyed. So I needed something that was slightly more I could keep awake more, which was nice with the lace. Was kind of good for that because it's the thick yarn and it made it feel like it was going quickly and it's more fun to see it grow. So I was paying more attention, and having the little repeats marked out, I could just like, okay, I'll do one more repeat and stay awake for that, and we'll do one more repeat and stay awake for that. So I wasn't making very fast progress, but it did feel like I was doing something more than just going slogging around on Sleeve Island. But I am motivated to get this done. And then I think once I've done this sleeve, I will cast on for sleeve number 2 on the lapwing sweater, because I do want to get that done as well. So I have 2 sweaters near completion, which is really great. And then I have the sky sweater, which I also need to pick back up. We'll see what happens with that. It's kind of hibernating at the moment, but it's not in deep hibernation. It is still up in the living room in the project basket corner. So there's there's several states of hibernation. So we have the active whips, which are, you know, in the whip basket on the sofa. And then we have on hold whips, which are kind of in a pile of whips behind in kind of the craft corner of the living room, which is where my Rod's Lillemor, the sweater, the all over colorwork sweater from a few episodes ago, and the sky sweater, and any is there any, yeah, those 2 are the main ones that are like near completion garments, but they're kind of like to work on right now, but I feel like they still might be picked up. So they are in the living room hibernation zone, not in the deep hibernation, which is kind of like in this plastic tub in the pantry with all the yarn. Yeah, that's the deep hibernation. I know I have a couple of shawls. They're like a stole. I have a stole and I have a shawl Oh, it's the What the Facial. I only have one more color to do on it. It's huge, it's massive. I need to finish that at some point. Maybe that could be a deep whip to finish this summer. We'll see. But yeah, I have these 2 active whips. And then last night I decided I needed to do something instant, have some instant gratification and cuteness in my life, because as previously mentioned, life is kind of shit. I don't know how people do it. How? Okay, not going to go there. Easter holidays is not a holiday when you're having 2 kids and you can't go anywhere. Just saying. But yeah, I made this little dude yesterday. So, hello. It's a little bunny. He is so cute with his little ears and his little tail. So I made him up really quickly. Basically, I don't know how many hours, if even hours, it took. Started in the afternoon, in between all the things you do with the cooking and the bedtime and everything like that, and finished with the little arms and little ears and the face last night before going to bed. So as you can see, he's not very big. He is made in some nice blue and beige shades of Shipia's Katona? I don't remember. Katona, yeah. And oh my, I don't even have the pattern in my head. I have the pattern on my phone, so let's get that out. Lali Lala is the designer. It's the 4 Seasons Special Easter. It's a pattern that I bought. It comes with three of these guys. It's got the Chuck, the chicken, Buddy, the bunny, and Rufus, the sheep. So let's see if you can appreciate the trio. These guys here. Oh, there's some reflections on the... Oh, that was terrible. You can see anything there. Anyways, but yeah. So this is Buddy the bunny. And he is very cute. I thought we needed a bit of Amigurumi Easter cheer. So, yeah. It was quick, 2.5mm hook. Just start with little legs, make a little leg, make another little leg, go around, change your arms, run, decrease. Then you do the little shells for the eyes. And there's the ears. You do kind of 2 of these in each color. You crochet around so you have an inside and outside. Little tail, little arms, and sew those on, and then you sew on the cute little face. You can do like Amigurumi eyes, but I don't have small eyes, so I kind of used black yarn to do a little knot for the eyes, and I have a little peach yarn for a little bit of shade in a little bit of rose in his cheeks. Yeah. So I thought that was a cute friend to have for Easter. And what else? Yeah, after finishing that one, I finally decided on new Amigurumi friend to make. As you can see, I have made enormous progress on that. So far, I have done 6 stitches in a magic loop on Vivi the Bunny. I think it's Vivi? Vivi the Bunny, yeah. So, come on. This lovely bun is being made for one lucky baby girl who's due to arrive this spring in May, I think. I'm gonna make her in this nice little sheep chest katana again, in this kind of, well, it's beige. It's golden beige, I'd say. So she's not gonna be a white bunny. I'm not a huge fan of bright white for kids. They get dirty immediately. And her outfit is gonna be in lavender and purples. So I think that's gonna be really cute. Yeah, am I finishing already? So by next week I should have, emphasis on the should, I should have completed at least my granny square pullover and would be able to show that off in all its imperfect glory. And I am working on a new amigurumi, which I think I will work on after finishing up filming here. And I have had some, well, I'm lying, I've had no requests, but I knit for myself mostly, and sometimes I feel like, oh, you're a knitter, you should be making clothes for your kids. So I'm trying to do that. I have got some yarn. I know, I bought some yarn, but I figured I don't have any superwash yarns. Very little of it anyways. And you know what? Before giving birth, I did buy a bunch of like Römma lamb's wool and non-superwash stuff to make baby clothes. And they're lovely yarns and they're perfect for stuff for me. I have destroyed so many baby clothes that are of really lovely quality. Like there is a Norwegian baby clothes brand, it's called Nøstebarn, which they specialize in non-superwash baby garments, and they're in non-superwash merino wool, and they're lovely. I love them, but I am incapable of washing them. Like, I have to be so careful, and when the whole, like, when the whole body, the little baby body is just smeared in yellow baby poop, and I can't just throw that in the washer and wash it on, like, okay, yeah, I wash it on the wool cycle, but it doesn't get clean. It doesn't remove the stain, and I've tried with their stain remover and all of these things. No, it just doesn't work. It it needs agitation to get the shit out, literally. So I'm gonna try if I have better luck with some superwash wool, because the wool clothing that other brands do for babies, they're normally superwash, and you can wash them on 40 degrees, and you can choose still to do a wool program, obviously, but it's much more convenient to just throw it in with the other baby things and wash it on a normal wash cycle. Yeah, because when you pay, like, it's quite expensive, and then you have this little baby clothes, they gets ruined in the wash because you forget, and I've shrunk so many of them. It's not funny. It makes me really sad when I destroy these things, because they are really nice quality and I really want to use them. So I have I picked out some yarns for making a little sweater and romper set for the baby, and a sweater for the 5-year-old as well. He got to choose his own colors. Let's see, this is the yarn for the baby's clothes. There you go. So it's gonna be a set of blue sweater with the mustard stripes. So I think I'm just gonna do a simple raglan pullover with like a diaper pants or a romper under to go under. Don't know if it's gonna be well, maybe a pullover instead of a cardigan, because it keeps opening the buttons and yeah. So I'm thinking kind of a broken rib texture all over raglan, which should be fairly easy to do in this. So I'm not going to be looking for a pattern for this, or I might use the numbers from a pattern in this book, booklet from Rauma, to make maybe something like that. You know, take the numbers of this particular pattern. I think this is brioche is the I want to say patent, so it's like hull patent, so it's half brioche stitch, fake brioche, I don't know, but yeah, that should be just fairly straightforward. But then of course just the blue with a maybe a thin mustard stripe in the middle. For the 5-year-old, he got to choose his own, and I'm gonna make the it's called a Timothy jumper. It's a pattern by Rauma in Finer. This one is cute, and we were talking about colors, and he wants the middle to be black, as he said, or dark. He says black to anything dark, and then he wants the sleeve to be blue and green, which are all the 3 favorite colors. So he's very much into robots. So I picked out the yarn Sisu from Sandnes and to make up the body of the sweater with the texture. I'm gonna use this color here, which is that same grey blue I'm making the sweater for his dad. I just love that color. It's comes off as a very dark, nice grey, but it has that blue tinge, so it's not completely grey or black, which I don't particularly think it suits kids. I like them in fun colors. And then the sleeves will be in these two, the stripes here. And yeah, so super wash this as well, and I will not destroy another kid's garment that I've spent time knitting, and it just frustrates me that it gets washed with all the other clothes and gets ruined. So hopefully with superwash yarns it's not gonna happen again. The Sisu from Sandnes Garn is Norwegian white sheep lamb wool. Is it? No. Produced in Norway. Not sure if that means that's Norwegian sheep. Anyways, it's 80% wool, 20% nylon. And yeah, it's got the same meterage as Finer, exactly. And right. This blue. Now, we'll go into more detail about the colorways when I have cast on and and I'm happily knitting on that little jumper. The yarn for the baby is also Sonny's Garn. It's Baby Urlanet, which is a superwash merino yarn. They're both fingering weight yarns, and I'm aiming for a gauge of 27 or 28 stitches per 10 centimeters for these both. And yeah, now I'm gonna have to knit on the 6-year size for the boy. Imagine that, getting to be big boy. And I think that's about it for what I had to talk about today. Yeah, since the boy chose 3 colors for this sweater, I was a bit worried that, oh, I'm gonna have to like intarsia my way to these sleeves or something. But no, actually, it is knit in pieces and sewn on. So you do knit in the round until you, and then the body, and then you knit back and forth on here, and the same on the sleeves. So it's a raglan construction, but you do seam here. So that's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be really cute the way he wants it. So I'm looking forward to cast that on, actually. Although, like, I don't know what to do first. Should I cast on for Emil's robot sweater first, or should I do the baby's first? Because I do feel like maybe the baby needs his little woolen set first, but I want to knit the other one. It seems like more fun for me. What to do. Anyways, I think that is it for today. I hope it was mildly interesting and not too depressing. And I'll hope to see you guys next week again. Hopefully I've done something interesting by then. If you enjoyed this episode, click the like thing, subscribe if you haven't, and turn on the alarm notification symbol if you do want to get notified. It's been nice, as always, to have this little chat session, and I hope to see you next time. Happy knitting. Bye.